Good evening, ladies. How are you doing? It is Sunday fun day. I will give you a moment to join me. Tonight we're making just a very simple card, but it's going to be a little bit on the elegant side, maybe. There we are. Okay. Hi, Patty. How are you doing? Okie dokie. Let's get started. There we go. I wasn't straight on the board. Okay, so for tonight's card, let me just lower this a little bit more. There we go. So for our card tonight, we are going to just do a very simple card, and it will measure 5.5 by 8.5, and it will be scored at 4 1/4. So it is our standard A2 size. You are going to need some embellishments, whatever you would like that will fit the theme of your card. So I have several different little things here. So I'm just going to set those aside. You're going to need 4 2x2 squares. And out of those 4, you want 2 of them to be different and 2 of them to be the same, okay? So those are 2x2s. I'm going to set those aside. And then we're going to need a cardstock that will measure 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to start by putting everything on our cardstock. Then we will transfer it over to our card base. So I'm just going to set our card base aside. Okay. Wow, we have 4 people on tonight. This is amazing. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink my edge, and I'm going to ink the edge of the pattern papers as well. So I'm going to use a little bit of heather gray, which is just a smidge darker than the cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly edge each side. And do you see how nice and light it is? Let me just see if you can see that. I think you can. So I didn't come into the cardstock. I went just along that edge. I mean, there's a teeny little bit, but it's okay. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to do that on all 4 of my edges. Now, did you notice that I went along the edge little by little, and then I took one swipe all the way across, just so that it was a smoother transition. I have finalized the 2026 calendar of events, so I will be posting that very soon, probably over the Thanksgiving weekend, just so that I can get it posted and everything. All right, next I'm going to do the same thing with my 2x2 squares, okay? This afternoon I had posted that Stampin' Up will be doing their first ever Black Friday sale. And here's the best part. It doesn't start on Black Friday. It's going to start on Tuesday. Oh, I can hardly wait. I am hoping for some good deals, man. There will be items that will be up to 40% off. Can you believe it? 40% off. And I believe one of those is the paper trimmer. And that had that, like an embossing score blade on it. Wouldn't that be like the cat's pajamas to have that machine? Well, it's not even a machine. It's just a paper trimmer. But it has a paper trimmer and scorer all in one. Oh, 2 blades on 1 cutter. Oh, girls, you're gonna love it. The one that I use that is white, that was from Close to My Heart just before they closed, it's the same trimmer as the Stampin' Up one. So if you're like, I love that one, now will be the time for you to get your hands on that. And I think I saw something about adhesives, cardstock. So there will be many items. And they said some items, you know, it will go up to 40% off. Not every item will be 40% off, but you will have some that are at 40, some that are at 20, some that are at 15, some that were at 30, I believe. And I think 10 was like the lowest discount. But wouldn't that be amazing? Okay, so I have all my parts edged. I'm going to set this aside. All right, let's pull in our 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm using that, the paper that I'm using tonight is called Nests of Winter. It was last year's like wintry pack. So this is what I'm going to use tonight. Actually, yeah, and next week's also. So next week's project. Okay, so let's pull out each of our pieces. So the way this card is going to work is we are going to place on the diagonal. So I'm going to do the pattern that I have it as a repeat, and then the next piece will go like so. This is why I'm not putting it onto my card base yet, because I'm going to have to do a little trimming. So now this square is going to come over here, and then the same square will get repeated here. Now, if you're like, oh, I think I want it up a little bit higher, that's completely up to you on how and where your placement is. Let me grab my adhesive here. Okay, I'm going to start with this top one. Actually, I think I want it up just a touch more. Oh, is that cute? Okay. I'm going to pull out my silicone mat so that I can do my adhesive. This silicone mat is pretty doggone cool. If you get like a little bit of adhesive on it, you just rub it and it makes like a little glue booger, so to speak. All right, I'm going to put my first one down. And I like it right there. And now I'm going to do the second one. And I'm going to put it right next to it, but I am going to leave a little bit of a gap. Just a small gap. Right there. Does Stampin' Up have a card sketch book? Joy, I'm so sorry, but they don't. However, what they do have in their catalogs, they have sketch designs that you can look at to mimic, which actually the one that we're doing tonight is, I believe, from there. I will pull out a book here in 2 seconds and we're going to look. But you know what? That is an amazing idea. I do like that idea. So maybe I will send that in as a suggestion to them. So now I made sure I had just a little bit of a gap between the first row and the second row. And then there is that gap between this third square and my last square. So now all my squares are on. And I'm going to grab my snips as they are referenced, and I'm going to just cut off those edges. And I believe I need to come to the back side so I can see a little bit better. And then we are going to take that dauber again and just kind of ink up where we've just cut from. Okay. Let's clean up our mess. Keeping a little tidy work surface helps. Okay, so we just need to bring a little bit here and a little bit there. And I think I need a little more ink on my dauber. And as usual, this tutorial will be moved over to the YouTube channel in the next day or two. So please head over there and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I am trying to grow that. Oh, isn't that cute already? It's so cute. All right, Joy just asked a question, so let's look that up. I'm going to set that aside. This is the current mini catalog, September through December, and there were sketches in here. I just have to find them. What page were they on? I know they were on a side. Oh, there they are. So here would be a sketch. So they had cards, tags, and scrapbook pages. So they put this right into the catalog for you. I know it doesn't have measurements, but it is a great stepping off point, because you could always say, oh, so like the card we did, this has 3 rows of rectangles. We're doing 2 rows of squares. So you can just do your adjustments. Okay, so that's that page, and that was page 14 in the catalog, in the September to December catalog. And I do know that there is a page of it also in the annual catalog. Now, you can purchase the catalogs on the website, and they are a wealth of information. So let's find. I know I'm getting close. So right here would be different cards and tags. And I believe there was another page. Yep, they had scrapbook pages right there. Aren't those fun? So fun. So yes, you can purchase those. And there is a new catalog coming out in January. Oh, girls. Let's just put it this way. I think I'm going to be broke, because there are some really amazing paper packs that are coming, and they're 12 by 12s, which is so great. Okay, we are going to place our cardstock front, that 4 by 5 1/4. That is going to go onto the front of our card now. And then we're going to embellish it. Set that aside. And I'm going to center this so that I have that nice crispy border of white. Let's see, any other? Hi, Arlene. So glad you could be joining us tonight. All right, let's bring in some of the embellishments that I had cut out. So originally I had pulled this out, and I still kind of like it, but I also liked this, putting my bird here. And since his tail kind of got clipped a little. I sort of want my sentiment. I want him like nestled. And that I do not like. This part I like. Let's just see. See, I like all of that, but I feel like I need a grounding spot. I don't feel like, I think he's just kind of like floating in space. So that's why I was bringing this in so that there was that nesting point for him, but it's not the right color tones. So that I do not like. I like these two parts. So what we need to do is we need to come up with a better plan. So I think before I do anything, I am going to glue these two parts together. And then we will continue on from that point. So let's get out our glue. And I'm going to put a little bit over here on his tail that's going to be covered. And I'm going to put some down here along this edge. Okay, let's see. There we go. All right, that I like. Okay, we're going to let that set there to dry for a moment. These pieces are no good. I am not going to use those. So we need to come up with another plan. And I have another plan up my sleeve. Found it. Okay. I'm going to pull out the foiled frames so that we can make this just slightly more elegant. And look at this. We've got a circle. Oh, I kind of like that shape too, though. All right. Let's see what else we have. Oh, that's a pretty shape. I don't think I want a hexagon. I think that's going to be too distracting. Okay, I pulled out the ones that I like. So let's now go from there. And what's nice about these is we can use either just the frame or the full tag. So let's just try out the frame first and go from there. Oh, see, now that is pretty. I kind of like that. And then if we pop dot all of this to have a little dimension to it, that works nicely. Now let's try this shape, and we're going to bring it up a little bit. See, that looks pretty. My circle has already been, so let's try the circle. And I'm going to bring this here. Okay, and I like that too. Well, we might as well try the third shape. And I'm going to keep it elongated, I think. And I'm going to put that here. Okay, so now the conundrum. Which do we pick? So, do we like the hexagon, the circle, or the fancy rectangle? Or did you like the gold frame? Put that in the comments. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get foam on the back of the bird and the sentiment. Just the frame or circle. See, Joy? That's right what I was thinking too. That's exactly what I was thinking. Either just this frame or the circle, because I think the circle doesn't detract from the prettiness of this card. Gold frame, okay. So we have 2 for the frame. because for some reason my phone is not showing me comments, but my iPad is, which is just crazy. Let's see what else. Patty says circle. Okay, so now we're 1 and 2. Well, actually 2 and 2. So we need a tiebreaker person. Whoever is our 5th quiet person, speak up. Circle. Mary Lynn says circle. See, that is pretty. But I'm going to tell you why I'm choosing the circle. Not because it was a winner, but it gives a contrast between the pattern papers. So it gives us a landing spot for our eyes. I think that's lovely. Oh, isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. Okay, let's glue down our circle. And I am going to put it in the center, just like so. And we're going to put our bird and sentiment. With all the tree decorating, all my nails have broken. So let's just use our Take Our Pick tool, which is another fabulous tool. I love this tool. You can pick up all your little backings off of your foam with that pick part. Okay, and I'm going to nestle this so that I have a little bit of that gold showing at the bottom underneath, because the Holiday Wishes is kind of curved as well. So I want to make sure that I get that curvature going together. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. All right, now we need a little bit of gems. And I am going to use these gray because I just think just that subtleness. I don't really want a lot of flash and pizzazz because I feel the gold already gives us that flash and pizzazz. So I'm going to go 1 here and 1 there. And I'm going to come over here and go behind the tail. Oh my goodness. All right, I want to just see if we did up here. And I think I'm going to do 2 up here. Now remember, you got to do odd numbers. So that is 5. So that is an odd. I am done. Oh, is that lovely or what? It is so pretty. It's so elegant, so simple, but it's pretty. What did you think of it, ladies? Oh, I'm getting all the hearts. I love it. Okay, now next week, I have next week's kind of ready, not fully ready. Hold on. I gotta wiggle it. Next week, we're gonna make a little box for a treat. Okay, so watch for your measurements to come. I don't remember what day I have these posting. I want to say this one's going to get posted tomorrow because I had scheduled all my posts back in October for the month of November, and the Facebook only allows you to post 30 days out. So I believe it's going to be posted tomorrow, and I might have to repost it again on Wednesday if you miss it. But watch for it. It will be coming. So it's an easy little box. It's great for just little candies. A Ghirardelli does not fit. It's too little for a Ghirardelli, but it will hold like Tootsie Rolls. and littler things like that, like little mints, things like that. So watch for that to come. And then, nope, that's something different. And then December 7th, we will be doing a scrapbook page. And then, let's see, December 7th, I think it is December 7th. I think that's a Sunday. The 14th, we will be doing a fancy fold card. The 21st, I believe, is another fancy fold card. And then the 28th it's another card, but I can't quite remember which one. I just finished designing it all. But we will be using Christmas paper in December. So watch for that. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves this evening. Please, once I do have it posted over on YouTube, please go over and like it. Maybe leave a comment. I really am trying to grow that channel. So any help that you can give would be fantastic. And watch for that sale to start on Tuesday. Alrighty, enjoy yourselves. And I look forward to seeing all of you next Sunday for Sunday Fun Day. Good night.